Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Wonderful to be together in our sanctuary, which we don't always have a chance to be, and we look forward to those moments where we can be illuminated by this season, this festival of lights, by our beautiful screens and our inspiring Chanukiot. And we begin our service on page 216 in your prayer books with the words, La Yehudim. May the Jewish people have light and joy as they enjoyed in days past, and may we, each of us, work toward bringing light into the world. La Yehudim, hayta ora, besimcha, besason, nikah. La Yehudim, hayta ora, besimcha, besason, nikah. Ken tieh lanu, tieh lanu, tieh lanu. La Yehudim, hayta ora, besimcha, besason, nikah. La Yehudim, hayta ora, besimcha, besason, nikah. Ken tieh lanu, tieh lanu, tieh lanu. Ken tieh lanu, tieh lanu, tieh lanu. La Yehudim, hayta ora, besimcha, besason, nikah. La Yehudim, hayta ora, besimcha, besason, nikah.
Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. I said those to you in a purposeful order because as we begin our service and we welcome Shabbat, there's something that we have to do first, right? Because which candles do we light first? The Chanukiah, exactly. We light our Chanukiah candles first. So to do that, we would like to invite, a little different from the rest of our services, if we have any kids here, to come on up to the bima and help me light the Chanukiah. The blessings are on page 94 if you would like to follow along with us. So please come and help us light our Chanukiah. We really need your help up here. So come stand right with Rabbi Bennett.
Which page are the blessings? Okay, good.
And please sing with us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner el Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh.
So we get a little candy, a little sweetness right at the beginning of Shabbat. And of course, if you notice, we light the candle for the fourth night of Hanukkah first in order to give that night a little bit of kavod, a little bit of honor. And similarly, we light our Shabbat candles, lichvod Shabbat, in honor of Shabbat. So tonight, our candle lighter will be Margie Franklin. So Margie Franklin, please come on up as we turn to page 13.
Light is the foundation of life, yet impossible to touch. Light is flowers growing and fruit trees blossoming, photosynthesis and rainbows shimmering. Light is energy and romance, enlightenment and lightning. Light is red and violet and magenta and blue, lasers and campfires, warmth and illumination, the sunset and the dawn. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, eternal source of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to light the lights, to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Our service continues on page 34 with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, לקראת קלה, שבת, קבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, שבת, קבלה, שמור וזכור בדיבורך, תשמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, שם תפארת ודיתירה, לך דודי נקרא שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם וסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תהילה, לך דודי רק קלה בשבת קבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה בשבת קבלה. Rise together to greet the Sabbath bride. Oy v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'letzola, toch emunei am segula, boy chala, boy chala, boy chala. דודי לקראת קלה לשבת קבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה לשבת קבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה Shabbat, Kabbalah, Chadodi, Likrat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Chadodi, Chadodi, Chadodi,
You've been looking at the Chanukiot. I've been kind of focused on the different sizes of the candles. And I don't know if you've noticed, each menorah has, and I think in some way it was speaking to me about life tonight, that you don't know how it's going to flow. You know, things go so differently. You can light all the candles exactly the same time, have the perfect plan, and yet they never burn down precisely in just a thought. Continue on page 93 as we read a special reading for Hanukkah. We read together. We give thanks to you, O God, for the redeeming wonders and the mighty deeds by which at this season our people was saved in days of old. In the days of the Hasmoneans, a tyrant rose up against our ancestors, determined to make them forget your Torah and to turn away from you. But you were at their side in time of trouble. You gave them strength to struggle and to triumph, that they might serve you in freedom. Through the power of your Spirit, the weak defeated the strong, the few prevailed over the many, and the righteous were triumphant. Then your children returned to your house to purify the sanctuary and to rekindle its lights. And they dedicated these days to give thanks and to praise your name.
We rise for the call to worship on page 44. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Baruch hu Adonai et Adonai. Mevorach
We continue together at the top of page 45. If fear is like a rock, then let me be a hammer. If sorrow is a fire, then let me be the sea. When challenges arise, may my heart increase in strength, like the moon that shines brighter when the darkness falls. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, O God, who makes the evening fall. We turn now to page 50. O God, you traveled with our fathers as they journeyed through the wilderness. You sang with our fathers at the shores of the Red Sea. You stood with our fathers as they fought against oppression. You have brought us all here, fathers and mothers, daughters and sons, to our own promised land of freedom.
Join together, page 55. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. As you're seated, we join together the chanting of Ve'ahavta, page 57. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shokpecha uv'ekumecha ukshartam leot al yedecha v'hayu letotafot bein heinecha uchetavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isha'arecha leman tizkeru ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So normally at this point in our service, as we turn to page 62, for Micha Mocha, we talk about that moment at the sea, when the sea splits and the people go through the sea towards freedom and Torah. But did you know that the Micha Mocha is actually the first Hanukkah song ever written? It's true. Look at page 62, and you'll see the words Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai. And if you look at the first letter of that phrase, of each word of the phrase, you see a mem, a chaf, a bet, and a yud. And what does that spell? Maccabee. And so, as we stand at the shores of the sea, celebrating Hanukkah tonight, We understand that those Maccabees took on that power, that strength that it took to split the sea. And so we celebrate both Hanukkah and that moment of redemption as we sing together now.
Adonai et Yaakov, uki halo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
I've always thought there was something special about the glow of candlelight, and tonight we're surrounded by it. We've got our Shabbat candles, our Hanukkah candles, and the candles on the screens, and it does shed an aura of peace, of comfort, of safety. And so as we turn to the words of our song, Chashkivenu, our prayer asking God to spread a shelter of peace over us, it feels like that's already been done for us. And so page 64, let's read together. Cause us, our Creator, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and be our shield of mercy and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
We turn over the page and we continue singing Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Page 68. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Hasteavot ve'Imaot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah.
Together at the bottom of 69. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. Create a pure heart within me, and let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence, flood me with your Holy Spirit, and I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness, and I will teach your love to the lonely, and the lost will find their way home. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. Oh, Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. Ooh.
All of us, as we are praying tonight, I think are mesmerized by the music, by the energy, by the imagery. I just have a question. How many of you have taken a look at the screen and actually thought that you saw the flames moving? That optical illusion, I think, teaches us a lesson that sometimes our eyes, our brains, not always in sync, and we have sometimes power that comes from these spiritual moments that changes reality. And I know that the same is true of Misha Berach, that if we pray hard enough, we may not be able to really affect change in our bodies, but the way we perceive our bodies, the way we perceive healing can be changed. And so we send our prayers now to all of those people who are in that need, healing of the body, healing of the spirit, with the prayer that these images, this energy, will change reality just a bit.
Misheperach imotenu mekor habaracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habaracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Thank you.
A temple member's daughter was asked to sign the ketubah at a friend's wedding. So her mom called the temple to find out how to spell her Hebrew name for the signing. Unfortunately, it was a name I had never heard of, so I checked the name dictionary, Bupkis. I consulted with our Israeli staff. They had never heard of it either. When my assistant related that to the mother, she became a bit agitated and said, "How can that be? Rabbi Yedwab chose this name for us 20-something years ago." A bit bewildered now, I asked her to go back and perhaps find the naming certificate. They did. As it turned out, she was named at Temple Bethel. Thank God. When Wendy and I were first married, she had already dreamed of what her daughter's name would be. I also had a favorite girl's name picked out. Hers was Shana, and mine was Talia. That was not going to work here at Temple Israel. So we did some research. We went back to that same name dictionary and announced to our parents that our firstborn daughter would be named Ariella after my grandma Anne. My mother, of blessed memory, threw a bit of a hissy fit. I won't tell you her objection from this bima as it is a bit off color, but my response to her was, "Mom, you had your chance to name your children, and you, a Jewish educator, and Dad, a rabbi, decided to name me Paul after a Christian saint. Do you really think I'm going to trust you to name any more Yedwa babies?" The point is that we Jews get very emotional about names. They seem to have significance far beyond their basic purpose of telling people apart one from the other. And this is not a new phenomenon. You see, like most people, I have always assumed in reading the Torah that Jacob's name, Yaakov's name, was changed to Israel, to Yisrael, during the famous wrestling match with the angel, which took place a few Torah portions ago. However, I just recently discovered something quite surprising. If we read the text more closely, we see that after that hip-wrenching wrestling match, the angel does not change Jacob's name, but rather merely reveals to Jacob the name that God will give to him at a later date. How do we know this? Well, first of all, because the text continues to call him Jacob for 3 more long chapters, at which point we find the real name change story following the death of Rebekah. In this later version, it is God who changes Jacob's name, not an angel, stating simply, "Jacob is your name, but Jacob are you called no more. Israel is your name." Sof pasuk, period. According to the great biblical commentator Bachia, from that time onward, the name Jacob would be used for matters pertaining to physical and mundane matters, while the name Israel would be used for matters reflecting Jacob's spiritual self, his role as a patriarch. And as it turns out, one of the few early references to Jacob as Israel occurs in our Torah portion, the Shabbat Miketz. Why is he called Israel in this portion? Well, according to several biblical commentators, it is because in this chapter, he is offering his sons a teaching for future generations, which is a holy spiritual act. And why is all of this important? Because it reveals a truth that I know that I myself have yet to master. This past week, I had the sad but sacred duty of eulogizing a person who treated everyone, quote, from the Comcast agent to the clerk behind the CVS counter to the most prominent philanthropist, with unfailing kindness. When her family first uttered that line, unfailing kindness, it brought me up in my tracks. Oh, I certainly try to treat major philanthropists with unfailing kindness. I'm not a complete idiot. As I do members of the temple, and yes, even strangers I pass in the street. Let's face it, as a rabbi at Temple Israel, you have to smile and greet everyone you meet, just in case they might be temple members. You should see me walking through the mall. The non-Jews I pass must think I am a lunatic, bobbing my head and smiling at them for no apparent reason. Okay, so we have that covered, and I must say I am pretty good, I think, with the pharmacy clerks as well. After all, they're supplying me with drugs, so, no problem there. But Comcast agents? Just ask Wendy what those conversations sound like when Comcast messes up our bill yet again. Unfailing kindness would not be the word she would use to describe those encounters. In fact, she gave me such a hard time about it that I finally asked her to take over the Comcast account for our household. And I must say that it gratifies me to no end when I hear her on the phone screaming at them at the top of her lungs. Still, after studying our Torah portion this week and discovering this interesting chiddush, this new revelation about Jacob's name, I began to think to myself, what if my sacred name were front and center in every conversation I had, even with the Comcast guy? Harav Pe'eri ben Harav Yisachar Umaka, Rabbi Paul Yedwab, son of Myra, and Rabbi Stanley Yedwab. Would it change my tone of voice, the amount of patience I would bring to the difficult encounter, the empathy I might show for an underpaid customer service agent in a call center somewhere in Pakistan? I bet it might. You see, each of us has two names, our everyday name and our sacred name, Israel and Joseph. And what a better world it would be if we brought our sacred name to bear in almost every encounter, if we were often Israel and only rarely Jacob, if we walked through our lives cognizant that holy is built into our every encounter, if we were to understand that we are all Israel, that no matter what we do or to whom, we represent the Jewish people and its highest ideals. We are Israel. That is our name. I once found and then translated and eventually published in a book a midrash by the Rupshitzer Rebbe, a Hasidic master. He was building upon a teaching of his master, Reb Menachem Mendel of Rimanov, that at Sinai, the only thing that Moses heard from God was the sound of an aleph. But the Rupshitzer expands on Menachem Mendel's teaching, adding that in Gematria, as I'll explain, the aleph is the numerical equivalent of God's sacred name, Yud, He, Vav, He. And he goes on to say, we humans are created, B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image, because our faces are built upon the architecture of the aleph. Think about it. Your face is two yuds and a vav. In my case, two yuds and a chaf, but okay, for most people, two yuds and a vav. So, if God's sacred name is plastered all over our faces, what would that mean to our behavior? And the Rupshitzer asserts that if we were all to walk around cognizant that God was in our faces, that the name of God was built into our faces, we would be less likely to sin, more likely to act morally, ethically, and yes, with unfailing kindness. Which brings us to the celebration of Hanukkah. Oh, I know it is our most fun holiday, and yes, our most consumeristic as well. But there is something about Hanukkah that you should know. In its essence, Hanukkah is a festival of rededication. That is what the word Hanukkah means, dedication. And have you ever wondered why we have no holiday celebrating the building of the temple? Not the first temple by King Solomon, not the second temple by Ezra and Nehemiah. Now, one could argue that the building of a temple is much more significant than the rededication of a temple. And yet, what we have is a holiday only for rededication. And a Hanukkah that falls during the reading of the Torah portion Miketz, well, that is a Hanukkah calling each of us to a rededication of our sacred names. From Jacob, the name of the mundane, to Israel, the name of the holy and the unfailingly kind. So, if your parents misnamed you, as did the mother of the bridesmaid I referenced at the outset, or as did my own parents in naming me after an apostle, do not worry, because your sacred name is a name that you create. The Shem Tov, the good name, the reputation for kindness, empathy, charity, and goodness that you build through your actions towards the people in your life, your family, strangers in the street, and yes, even the poor schmo who works in customer service for Comcast. It is in that spirit, then, that I wish each of us a happy and healthy Hanukkah, a Hanukkah of dedication to the rebuilding of our own sacred and holy names. May they become names honored among the household of Israel. Kei Nihi Ratzon, may it be your will, O God, and let us say, Amen.
And when the night begins to fall, when the world is dark and silent, then in your heart a simple song lights the way, lights the way. And when you've lost your guiding light, all your fears and doubts surround you, then in the dark you'll hear that song, that ancient voice inside you there to guide you safely through the night. Look for the light. Don't fear the darkness. May all your dreams be dreams of bright tomorrows, just like the flame. Just set your sorrows free and know the light you light for all the world to see. Bring on the light. Don't fear the darkness. Let every candle shine the light of freedom, just like the flame. It's up to you and me, and know the light we give for all the world to see. When your heart is filled with hope, and when your soul is filled with music, then lift your voice and sing of joy in the night, in the night. Light the light, light the light, each holy spark, each blessing that we kindle, lights a new tomorrow. Light the light, bring on the light. Don't fear the darkness. Let every candle shine the light of freedom, just like the flame. It's up to you and me, and know the light we give for all the world to see. We give for all the world to see the light. Bring on the light.
is an honor now to invite a member of our executive committee, Joe Begelman, to come forward now to offer congregational announcements.
Happy Hanukkah. Shabbat Shalom. Mark your calendar for Friday, December 22nd to hear the harmony and energy of our tefillah team. They will inspire you. The Weinberg Family Library and Sisterhood of Temple Israel are excited to present a film discussion series. Join us on Thursday, January 4th for the film The Quarrel. Facilitated by Rabbi Kaluzny, we will offer a movie, dinner, and discussion at Temple. The movies will be available to check out from Temple libraries prior to each session for viewing at home. You are also welcome to attend a group showing at 5 p.m. on each date. Dinner and discussion will begin at approximately 6:45 p.m. Join us Friday, January 26th, celebrating Dr. Jen Green and Cantor Michael Smolash's 13th anniversary at Temple Israel. Dinner begins at 6 p.m., followed by a service at 7:30 p.m. This beautiful service will feature all of the choirs and tefillah teams for a beautiful celebration. For further information or to RSVP or volunteer for any of these programs, check the information table as you leave or call the Temple office during regular business hours. Please join us after services for the Oneg and Shabbat greetings. On behalf of the officers and the members of the Board of Trustees, I want to wish each of you a happy Hanukkah and a Shabbat Shalom.
We turn now to page 189 and invite all the children to come forward once again. To help us open the ark, we rise together for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach b'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו גורים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. You just can't help but smile when you see them. It's amazing what Smarties can do. As we look at these sweet faces, we recall those in our congregation and community who have died in the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim. Mildred Bishop, Bernice Brodsky, John Childress, Jerry David, Gary Domino, Marilyn Franklin Eichelbaum, Linda Ehrlich, Willie Goose, Shell Green, Sharon Hauptman, Phyllis Hendon, Michael Kay, Virginia Kingsley, Dr. Mark Crane, Annette Lash, Elisa Leiter, Abe Lewis Levine, Clara Levy, Evelyn Lippitz, Honora Lipson, Judith Litvin, Henry Moradian, Joseph Newman, Maurice Otis, Jean Paul, Gertrude Ross, Marjorie Schuster, Judy Schramm, Norman Schwedel, Elizabeth Spickler, Evelyn Starman, Ronald Trunsky, Paula Weinberg, Joyce White, Saul Winkler, Claire Winnick, Carol Litt, and B. Moss. We also recall the names of those whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat. Bernard Marshall Alter, Irving Berman, Lindsay Beth Finsilver, Sandra Gleischer, Philip Goldberg, Jacqueline Gould, Harold Haas, Thelma Kaplan, Bertha Kifferstein, Adele Kress, Louis Koretsky, Irving Laker, Irving Lakritz, Sidney Lieberman, James Neal Marks, Harry Mazer, Francis Moretsky, Gloria Olshansky, Betty Pickstein, Joseph Radin, Donald Rissman, Elizabeth Sanders, Millie Wish. Marvin Wayne, Lillian Berger, Joshua Short, Faye Beckwith, Leonard Trunsky, Helen Rosenfeld, Harvey Rubin, Arthur Goodman, Trevor Brown, Evelyn Rotzker, Mart Stutz, Frida Davids, Gert Cohen, Melvin White, Jerry Rissman, and Herman Oster. We remember them with love and honor them with words of Kaddish on page 199. Please rise. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamnich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yom echon u'v'chayei dochol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam le'olmei olmaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. We pray that the source of peace sends peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen.
Our service concludes as we join together in the ancient melody of Ma'oz Tzur, which can be found on page 97 in your prayer books. Ma'od Tzur Yeshuati B'chana Ed Shabeah Tikun B'tefilati Sham Toda Nezabeah Etachin Mazbeah Bitzar HaNabeah Azegmor Reshim Izmor Chanukat HaMizbeah Azegmor Reshim Izmor Chanukat HaMizbeah Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amid the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach, Happy Hanukkah.